How's it going? UFWU here, and I'd like to do a quick tutorial for those using Vegas Pro using a green screen and on sound equalizing. Special thanks to the YouTube channel Best Green Screen and Pixabay.com for the royalty-free content, which is something you need to consider when you want to monetize on videos. Alright, so straight up I'm going to drag my green screen video here down onto the video track. I'm not going to need the audio for that, so I'll just delete that track. This could be used standing in front of a wall or with a blanket, as long as the color you use isn't present on the subject. Like your shirt or you should be just fine. Now we put our background in for the subject. Remember, it just needs to be underneath the green screen because it's going to be the background image. I'll use two images I pulled from the web. You can see this event doesn't last as long as the robot. We can just drag them out by left clicking and holding to fill out that void. Because these images aren't the same aspect ratio or don't quite fit the screen, I'm going to stretch it out a little bit by clicking on these overlapping right angles, or right clicking and then left clicking on the video event pan/crop. Now you want to right click the middle of the screen and then click match output aspect. And just like that, they're gone. Now I'm going to do the same to the other picture. The reason you can't see the green screen video is because I've soloed it out. You can click any track and it will just show that track. Same applies to audio. So now you can see the green screen video is played over top, but you can't see the background images. To get the green screen subject onto the picture, I can either click this rectangular box with black dots either side, or I can right click, then click Video Event FX. Now two windows are going to open up, the event pan and crop screen we just seen before, and also this new one with the video effects. Yours might look a little bit different from mine, but you want to click on the chroma key. Select OK. The first thing you need to do is select the color bar by left clicking on it, then click on the eyedropper tool. You can click straight into the image in the preview box. As you can see, it's instantly gotten rid of the background, but some changes need to be made. Now if we look at these sliders here, it's pretty simple and easy to use, especially with a stock footage computer generated image I've got here, because there's no ripples in the blanket or sheet or unnecessary light spots. Without that, you will need to play with these sliders. The low and high threshold sliders are affected by the luminance values. The lower sets a transparency and the higher sets how opaque. Most of the program's tools have a brief description found in the question mark here. But you can just play around with the sliders and find what works for you. I'm not going to need to touch the lower threshold, but I will lower the higher threshold, as I'm missing the shadow and some darkness around the subject. The blur is meant to help your subject blend in with the background, so it can be used to reduce the green glow that the green screen has left. But as I increase it, I lose my shadow, so I'm not going to touch that. That's basically it for green screening. You can click on the crop and pan and make the frame higher to make your image look smaller, move them around and see how it goes. For the next part, I'm going to talk about sound equalization and syncing if you use an external mic or a secondary camera. And a quick tip that many video editors use if they don't have a slate is to just clap loud enough for both the camera and the microphone to hear, so you can sync the external mic or second camera to the feed. As you can see, the recorded sounds don't match up, and I did two claps, one louder than the other. I can solo out the audio from the video, and you can just hear this camera's microphone. Cough, and then two claps. Now we can sync these up by clicking on one of these peaks and scrolling up to zoom in. Then I can move the secondary audio from the mic across to line up with that peak and see how it looks. Much better. You can double check this on the second clap. Maybe that'll be a bit better. Awesome. That's how you sync them up. It's not that hard. Last thing before I leave you to try this yourselves. Normalize is the magic tool to audio that chroma key is to video. It builds the peaks to maximum. And if you're finding one peak like this one is stretching out your video, you can always split it. I'll show you what I mean here. For this part, I'm not going to need the sound from the external mic, so I'll just blank that out. Now it's not very loud, as you hear. We can right click, go to switches, and normalize. This will build these peaks to the highest point. It didn't change much, as you can see. I'll take normalize off and follow this peak here. However, if we split the video before that peak by pressing S, we can normalize this half of the video. We'll normalize this half of the video. Now both peaks are at the same height. Let's listen to see if those claps sound better. Almost the same volume. This can raise the sound across your whole video or just specific parts of the video by splitting it. It's probably important to note that my video and audio aren't grouped together here. When you first bring them in, they will look and act as one. So where you split the video, it will split the audio, and where you split the audio, it will split the video. To stop this from happening, simply click on one event, control, and click on another event. Then either tap U or right click, group, and remove. Then select the event you want to split, and then press S. I'd like to do a quick tutorial for those using Sony Vegas Pro on a green screen. Fuck you. Video tutorial. And also using... Thanks for watching. Subscribe and put any requests in the comments below.